life of Hydra and how it can help keepers that may get a dragon from an unreliable source like a pet store or Craigslist. I am not a vet, but this advice is to prevent common problems, so when you take it to the vet, the problems are uncommon. This advice is to save money and the lives of bearded dragons and the betterment of their lives. This advice is not for dragons over 1 year old, due to dragons under 1 having a high rate of growth. This is dangerous, but not as dangerous for a dragon who's going to grow a massive amount like the ones under 1 year old. Please follow the instructions. He was trying to move. He's not doing a very good job. He's not happy with the birds and everything. He's not used to this stuff. But he is getting some sun. And so we are trying, and that's going to make him healthy. No matter how upset he is, the sun's better for him than no sun. Same thing for this little guy. He was just, it looks like he's trying to swim in there, but he's just not he's not healthy right now. He's not, I've got him, oh, he's trying to puff up on me a little bit. See, he's very alert, but he should be able to hold himself up. Like, this guy's holding himself up just fine. And he is mad. Oh, he's mad. This guy's not as mad because he's getting him some sun. But I'm trying to get him to hold himself up, but he won't do it. I get him to run. That's how he runs. That is not healthy. He was just arm waving just arm waving the dragon in the middle. He goes in the mirror. He's like, what's that? Eventually he'll figure it out. See, that's what Pitch did that got her name. Okay, walk. See, I've had him literally for 2 weeks. I got him 2 weeks ago, and he couldn't lift himself up. Now he's actually on all fours. This is Hydra. I lost my Spike, and I took him in because he had issues standing up. This is great. Oh my God, this is so amazing. I just want to get him to... Oh yeah, look at him! Look at him go! Look at him go! Oh my God, he's jumping! Oh, look at him go! Oh, he's gonna get it! Oh! Young lady had him in a 10-gallon tank, so there's no gradient. He's either over-digesting or under-digesting. So, a lot of common problems: malnourishment, calcium deficiency, metabolic bone disease. So, I start him on making sure that he is range-fed and gets his bugs, gets vitamins every day, and then he gets calcium and vitamin D3 every single meal, until I started seeing signs that he was lifting himself up more. And so I ended up downgrading those every single time I seen him take a step forward. But I can do that. I recognize that he was lifting his head up when we were outside that he was actually starting to be able to lift his front up. And then all of a sudden, 2 weeks, he just up on all fours. It's amazing. And he's literally jumping around. And he's climbing everything. I put basil in there for him and he'd climb up it and he'd use it to pull himself up. I would find him falling off his cave there. I put the proper lighting and everything up, made sure it was the proper distance with the screen. And so I seen him actually, when I got home, hanging from this back of that several times. Just hanging. He must have been hanging there for hours. But, you know, that's a good way to build muscle, I guess. So, as he just got better, I just cut back everything. And just cut back more after he was able to pull himself up more. And so he was calcium deficient, not metabolic bone disease yet. He was on the verge for that. And man, boy, does he look great. He eats great. I give him small dubias, some baby food, and then actually some black soldier fly larvae. Oh, he was amazing. He looks amazing. I just love Hydra. He became a butt after this. He acted like a big scary dragon now. Had him in quarantine for a month. Vet said okay. He's got a lot of fight in him. I've actually fallen in love with the little guy. But he can stand up, run, everything. So I just got back from the vet yesterday. And now we are going to give him Spike's old enclosure. I even made a leash for him. And it says Hail Hydra on it. Alright, let's put him in there. We got some roaches in there for him. He's been without a light for a little bit. Let's see what he does. Go, it's yours. Look at him. On all fours, running around. I like that dish. Let him chew down on some roaches. Let me actually turn this one off. I'll have to unplug it. Till it's 95. And so we'll let him explore. I cleaned it out this morning, sanitized all the rocks and everything. He's never had anything this big. He came from a 10-gallon tank. Then he had a 30-gallon top-loaded quarantine tank. And now he's got a 4x2x2, 120-gallon. Oh, look at him. He know where that. He didn't know what glass is, so it's the thing about bearded dragons. That's why you introduce them with glass between them, so you know the temperament of your dragon. He is not a scared dragon. He is I'm small, so I think I'm a big dragon. I'm a big bad dragon. We'll see him running around. It's a bioactive garden. Boy, he is very excited. He is very alert. This is... Maybe caught some more bugs. He's in a place he's never really been. He's never been on this side. I think he's been in this room once or twice. There's a fan blowing. So, hail Hydra! Oh, he is curious about something. I don't know if he sees the crickets up there or if it's that wind. But yeah, I figured he's gonna go explore. This is his. I figured that he already had an attitude because he was happy where he was. And now I figure he's gonna get an even bigger attitude. Because when they're happy, oh, he's already exploring. Yep. Sure, he sees the dragon in the window too. Yeah, that's it. It's a dragon in the window. He'll have to get used to it. Stress is a thing of life. You're not living if you haven't had any stress at all. So we're going to let him get a little stressed because it's going to lead to him having more mental stability in the long run. Because he won't just be feeling imprisoned in a box. This will become his home that he has a pretty big view of. Everything coming and going. Because it's a screened, topped enclosure now. Everything's closed off. Because no repeat of what happened to my spike. No chance of it. There's just so much to do in here for him. So much enrichment. And easy to clean up. Because either there's poop, there's a garden, or... And this enclosure hasn't been used in a month. So... yeah, he's trying to get out, trying to figure out how to get out. Oh, he's waving to himself, his image. Like I said, normally most people are like, well, don't let him get stressed. It's like, stress is a part of life. He'll get used to it. Like, there's this dragon that constantly follows me. But we're friends now. It's all good. Look, those windows open up. And he'll be able to see out multiple views. And so he'll get more enrichment, more mental stimulation. So as we can see in the back here, Hydra's all relaxed. So we're going to pull him out. If you're trying to get your dragon better, then you need to make sure the enclosure's right, that there's a gradient in the enclosure, about 10 degrees difference at least. And you need to make sure you have the proper lighting at the proper distance. There are ranges for your lights. And not all bulbs are the same, so you look at the manufacturing deal. Here. Fancy wants at him. Fancy wants out. Sorry, Fancy. So, you're alright, buddy. Fancy ain't gonna get you. Fancy ain't gonna get you. Poor Fancy. So making sure that you have the right enclosure, the right lighting, everything like that. And you can find that all over the place. I'm not gonna sit here and... No, that's not what we're doing. These are things that you might not be able to figure out from just every single person. So we don't need him up there anymore, so we'll take him down here. We'll get him out of the sight of. I know, buddy. You're all right. You're all right. So Hydra's Life can help us understand stuff. That we should be easily able to get rid of common problems. And then actually go the distance and only have uncommon problems, which should save you several $100s on a trip to a vet just to tell you that your dragon's fine. Well, that's what you want to hear the first time. Do the fecal and everything. So, if your dragon looks like mush and it's sitting on its belly and its arms are up here and it's having trouble eating because calcium deficiency ends up creating a soft jaw, and if your dragon cannot lift itself up and it actually starts to look like mush, you've passed the point of metabolic bone disease. There is no way you are going to recover that dragon. This guy only had calcium deficiency. He was on the verge to metabolic bone disease. Sorry, buddy. I know. So he is actually healthy now. We're going to examine Hydra like a vet would. Now, our goal is just to show the audience, new keepers, a better understanding of what a vet's looking for. A vet's going to have more experience, but this will help you understand whether your dragon is actually sick or not later on. We can see at the top of his head here are his two fat pockets. What's interesting is, as Hydra grew up and I got him better, his fat pockets were non-existent when I picked him up. Now, as they grew unevenly. So we're wanting to examine. This is so we can actually keep him from sliding around. So now we see the fat pockets are good. All his joints actually look good. There's some discoloration on his tail. That's due to him about to shed it. Yeah, I know. I see you, buddy. I see you. Yeah, I know. He can lift himself up, which is a good thing. You want to see weak. You want to see if he has a weak jaw. See, he's more than capable of lifting himself up or holding himself up. If you can see his face, his mouth actually has gaps here from where he had calcium deficiency when he was younger. And so there's no discoloration on him. He can definitely lift himself up now. He is definitely a runner, whereas we stick him here, of course, see, he's still able to lift himself up on the surface. This is good. He's healthy. I mean, you want to understand the weight, the length, their poop cycle, things like this. And those are what you can tell your vet. As long as there's no misshapen, which he's not. He's a little skinnier than he probably should be. This is due to him still just growing. But all in all, he looks very, very healthy. He is a very healthy dragon. Now, the thing that I want people to understand, I was able to watch him grow, to develop better. So here's my advice. Do not do this with a dragon over 1 year old, because he's still growing. He's about 7 months, and I got him at 4 months. So make sure you do this exactly the way I'm describing it, and it depends on the dragon you're getting. If you think it came from a good source and you're not worried about it, forget this advice. You're not needing this advice. This is for a dragon that might not be as healthy coming into your life from a source that may not be as reliable, like a pet store or Craigslist. I keep saying this. I just want to reiterate this, and how unsatisfied you are with the possible care is how far you should take my advice. So a dragon of this age is constantly still growing massive amounts. So overdoing calcium and vitamins is not good. They're over 1 year old. you need to consult a vet, absolutely. But if they're under a year old, it's okay to overdo that because they're growing so massively. But overdo it in a right way. Because calcium deficiency, he still has that lip issue. He'll always have that lip issue because of that. They can never make 100% recovery off of a calcium deficiency. But how you fix overdoing calcium is just stop giving them calcium. Like, it's just that simple. So if you overdo the calcium with somebody, with a dragon that may have already been undercalcified, then it's not going to hurt the dragon. So we're trying to get rid of the common problems by feeding it more, feeding it with vitamins every day for 5 to 7 days, and then also every meal giving it calcium, calcium D3, whatever you need to do. This way you're replacing that calcium that it might be missing, and you are making sure that dragon itself is actually getting better. So when you take it to a vet in 2 weeks, you'll understand the eating habits, you'll understand the pooping habits, you'll be able to help out with the fecal better understanding, and this will actually make any problems that you still have left to solve for that dragon uncommon problems. So you fix all the common problems and leave the uncommon problems that you personally cannot solve. You absolutely have to have a vet, and this will save you money also in the long run, because we want these people better. If you go take it to a vet, you'll spend all this money and then come to find out, hey, you know what? He still has more issues. Whereas you solve those issues, you get to know the dragon, and then you take it to the vet within the 2 weeks. And so the first week, you give it calcium, overdoing calcium every meal for 5 to 7 days. And then you take 2 to 3 days completely off. No vitamins, no calcium, no nothing. And then do it again for 5 to 7 days if you feel like the dragon still needs it. This is to fix common problems before they become like metabolic bone disease. Because calcium deficiency isn't metabolic bone disease. It hasn't fed on its own bones yet. And I'm telling you right now, so if you feel like you're not sure, just do it 5 days, take 3 off, get into a regular habit of giving it calcium in 1 meal a day for 5 days, and vitamins once a week. If you think your dragon's a little worse, then do it for the 2 weeks. But make sure that you stop in between to give the dragon time to actually eat up that calcium. So, you're a good boy. You're going to poop. It's okay if you poop. I know. You're a good boy. Hail Hydra. Please like, share, and subscribe. Hopefully this helps a lot of people.